Okay, this is for Super Jet Ski Bros.
Oh.
And we want to talk about...
I tried to find that channel today, but I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah, I sometimes forget. All right, this is about the 760 Superjet.
Oh, Milo, he's squirming.
All right, let me put his shoes on. Just a second. Okay, he's got his shoes on now, so he's off to find something to do for fun. Okay, Jacob, the 760 Superjet.
So has anybody thought about caring about that? This is my Superjet that we're putting the 760 in. That's what we got to say about it. It is now running just the stock 701 engine, and the crash engine got taken out a while ago. Maybe I'll talk about that sometime, but I don't know how this wet jet pipe is going to fit in here, but I'll just have to test fit it.
This video starts out with Jacob working on the wet jet pipe to go onto the 760 so he can put it in the 760 Superjet.
Alright, we got a continuation of the tail cone saga. Making a tail cone. This is a continuation of the video where I ran it over the Corvette. This is an old Sea-Doo tail cone. I'm just gonna chop it, and that'll give me the shape, kind of. Hopefully, we'll see.
All right, I had to ask Jacob about that pipe he was working on. I go, Jacob, is this even for the 760 Superjet? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, that's the wet jet pipe, right? He goes, yeah, I had to cut it so it can go forward instead of backward. Or what was it?
I had to cut it go forward instead of back.
Okay, yeah, he had to make it go forward instead of backwards. Obviously, always a party around here.
That's great, Milo. You put it
Milo, just show him what you're doing.
The only reason I filmed myself taking this out is so you guys could see me look like an idiot. Alright. Oh, that really wasn't too bad. Alright, let's see how horrible this thing fits. Just a test fit. We don't need that. All right, so got it in. Fits pretty good once it's in there. The pipe angle to the water box looks all right. It's not going to hit the tank. Plenty of room. This rib, it kind of made it a pain to get in there. Maybe I'll grind it off, but it does fit. I couldn't find any pictures of this in a round nose on the internet, only square nose. But apparently the square nose guys got to move their e-box, and it looks like it does technically fit, but it would be good to get at least like a 1/4 inch away from the pipe, because right now it basically touches. I don't know. This e-box isn't put all the way together. It's just one we had laying around for me to shove in there and see. I'm going to be putting the electronics from 701 on this guy, so, you know, yeah, I'll have to think about what I'm gonna do for that, but really, not bad. Does anybody remember when I said I was gonna paint the head? That didn't happen, did it? All right. Okay, I'm pretty happy with what we got here. I think I'm gonna have to slap the flywheel and the stator on here and actually put it in for real. All right, boys, I'm getting it fit up pretty good. So this is where the engine will sit. E-box, that's the stock position. I think I gotta move it over. Not much room for these spark plug wires to fish around anyway. So I'm gonna just move the E-box over an inch, or probably about as much as I can, since it looks like it'll bump into the exhaust right there. All I gotta do is re-drill these guys. Yeah, this whole bulkhead area has been desecrated already. I drilled holes and stuff. This is for the crash E-box. With some more holes, at least it gets covered up with a piece of plastic. No one ever gonna see it. Yeah, this stopped being a pristine superjet a long time ago. So, yeah, just gonna move that E-box on over. And, dude, yeah. All right, guys, so I got the engine bolted in. The electrical box is where it's gonna be. I got plenty of room. I gotta think about the carburetor stuff now, getting those on there. Looked at it a little bit on the internet, and one of the things I noticed people were doing was, I have an intake manifold here. Let me show you what I'm thinking. So these have a crossover here that I filled on this particular intake manifold. There's a crossover for the, just an air crossover between there, and apparently filling it's good. I read on the internet, people fill it, they like that, it's better, and I just happen to have this laying around, so while this is easy to do, I'm gonna put it on there. The stock 760 heads have, I think, more compression on the front than the back, and so the jets are slightly, I think, bigger on the front cylinder. So I don't know. I'm gonna look into the carburetors. I'm gonna look at it. Probably change the jetting to something more similar to what people on the internet are running. And yeah. And one interesting note on these Yamaha carburetors is the adjustment screws have a very fine pitch on them, and so maybe basically they will maybe 2 turns on these super fine screws are going to be equal to 1 turn on the screws on just like a regular aftermarket Mikuni carburetor that you would just buy as an aftermarket part. So that's a little interesting tech tip for you. So these Yamahas, they're so fine that it takes more turns of the screw to feel the difference, to get really any difference. So yeah, maybe that helps somebody, but I gotta get to it. All right, guys, so I got the engine in. It seems like it needs crank seals, so that is going to really put a stop to it this weekend. But the engine fits in there pretty good, and it seems quite all right. So you'll have to wait till next time to see what we do and have it running. All right, so I rode it a couple of times, and basically I had to do, there's some issue with the engine that I think I just need to get a new exhaust gasket in there and it'll fix it. But also it's in the heat of summer and I don't want to be caught up working on that because I've got other things to do for as far as builds go.
We're getting a good view of Jacob's legs.
Yeah. So yeah, the 760 Superjet didn't work out supremely well. I got a goal for an end goal for the engine I want in that thing. So I'm hoping to get that at some point done. But basically it came down to, for me to choose my next project was either going to be what my next project is going to be, or for me to screw around with the superjet. And I think what I picked is going to be more interesting, and you guys are going to like it more.
So anyways, a 760 wetjet pipe superjet is definitely possible because it was all bolted in and did run. I think you did test it at least once.
Yeah, and the wetjet pipe is just kind of sucks to work on in the superjet because you gotta have it all bolted together before it goes in. And it's kind of crappy to work on, but it fits in there good once you get it. So that's what I get to say about it. So I'm gonna say I did the engine swap of shame, and I just stuck the stock motor back in my superjet. Because I didn't have time to screw around with the 760.
Oh, okay. All right, so that will definitely end this one out. So say goodbye to everybody, Milo. Okay, get your cap on. Get into your wardrobe. And you say something if you want.
If you found this video incredibly boring, leave a comment below.